Hello, today I'm going to show two different ways to solve different problem types. I'll be using a linear model to show how to solve a part-whole problem and a set model to solve a join problem. A join problem requires an action word such as she gave me something. Let's look at our first word problem. Avery started with 9 pieces of candy. Her mom gave her some more pieces. Now Avery has 18 pieces of candy. How many pieces did Avery's mom give her? So we're going to start by pulling out what we know. Students sometimes have a hard time deciding what values are pulled out of our word problem. In this case, we can see that she started with 9 pieces. We also know that she ended with 18 pieces. We are trying to find how many pieces her mom gave her, so our unknown value is how much she was given. When writing this in a word problem, the 18, which is our end value, will go on the right side of our equal sign. We know she had 9 to start, and she was given some more, which means she was added an unknown value, and the total was then 18. This is how we set up our problem. Now it's important to note what our equal sign means. When you see an equal sign, it means that the values on either side have to have the same value. For example, in our problem, we know that 9 plus this value has to have the same value of 18 in order to make this equal sign true. Now we're going to be using a set model. This is a set model for a join problem. You put your starting value in this circle, the change in this circle, and the result or ending value in this circle. Back in our equation, we know that we started with 9, we ended with 18. So in our set model, we'll start with 9 singular units in our start circle. We do not know the change yet, so we'll leave that blank. But we know our ending value is 18, so we'll put 1 rod, which is worth 10, and 8 single units. Now back to our problem. Since we know that addition and subtraction are inverses of each other, this allows us to rework our problem. Right now it's an addition problem, but we need it to be a subtraction problem in order to find our missing value. So we'll rewrite it as 18 minus 9 equals our missing value. We know that they're inverses of each other because 9 plus our missing value will equal 18, and 18 minus 9 will equal our missing value. Back to our set model. When we do subtraction on the set model, we'll start with our units. Since we have 9 units and only 8 single units here, we'll have to regroup our rod into 10 single units. Now we're ready to subtract our units. We know that we are going to take 9 since we have 9 in the start category. So we'll take 9 from our start, and we'll also take 9 from our end. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now what we have remaining, we will slide over into our change category. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is our change. So back to our word problem, we now know that 18 minus 9 equals 9. So Avery's mom gave her 9 pieces of candy. Now let's look at our second word problem. For this word problem, we are going to be using a linear model, and the problem type is going to be part-whole. So our problem is there were 30 teachers at an elementary school. 21 of those teachers were female. How many of those teachers were male? Once again, we are going to pull out what we know. We know that the total amount of teachers at the elementary school were 30. We also know that 21 of those teachers were female. What we don't know is how many of the teachers were male. This is part whole because our whole is 30 teachers, one part is 21 females, and the other part are the number of males. When we write our equation, our total once again goes on the right side of our equal sign. Now we have to have our two parts added together in order to equal our whole. So we will have 21 females plus our unknown value equals our whole of 30. This is the linear model that we will be using. In order to do this, you'll have to know that our blue value, or our whole, is worth 30. Since we know that our first part, or both parts of ours, added together equals 30, and we know that this value is 21 for females, and we do not know how many values are males. Once again, we know that addition and subtraction are inverses of each other, so we need to flip this problem around. It needs to be changed to 30 minus 21 equals our mystery number. We are going to be using the make 10 in order to do the subtraction. So we will start by 30 minus 10, which will give us 20. 20 minus 10, which will give us 10. And then we still have to subtract one more from our original. So 10 minus 1 equals 9. So if we had 21 female teachers and we have a whole of 30, we will have to have 9 teachers in order to make this a part whole. Remember, some students may not know how to pull out information from the word problem, so it's important to have extra practice. When saying that there were 30 teachers total, this is how you show students that that's the value that goes on the right. 21 is shorter or smaller than 30, so we know that this is the number that we are adding to another number in order to equal our whole.